What country would be the safest if nuclear war escalates? It's a heavy question. In a full-scale nuclear war, there is no such thing as a completely safe country. Even nations not directly hit could suffer from radioactive fallout, economic collapse, and food shortages. And something even more dangerous, nuclear winter, a global crisis impacting all. But for relative safety, countries with better odds of stability and survival are often identified by experts. First, distance from likely targets. Major military powers and strategic bases are at higher risk. Second, food and energy independence. Self-sufficient nations have a major advantage in a global crisis. Countries that can produce their own energy, like through renewables, are also better positioned for survival. Third, political stability and low strategic value. Neutral nations are less likely to be targeted. Finally, geographic location, especially the southern hemisphere, could experience less severe nuclear winter effects. So, which countries often come up in these discussions? New Zealand is frequently mentioned. It's remote, has strong agriculture, and isn't a primary military target. Its geographic isolation is one of its biggest advantages. Australia is another candidate. It's large, resource-rich, and capable of producing food and energy. However, its military alliances and strategic role could increase risk compared to more neutral nations. Iceland is sometimes considered due to its small population and geothermal energy independence, but its proximity to NATO regions may complicate its safety depending on the conflict scenario. In South America, Uruguay, parts of Argentina, and Chile are cited for strong agriculture and distance from major powers. Switzerland is also mentioned for its long-standing neutrality and robust civil defense infrastructure. However, being in Europe means proximity to potential targets. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Survival may depend less on which country you're in. It depends more on where you are within that country. Rural areas with access to local food production are safer than dense urban centers. Communities with strong social cohesion and local resources may fare better than isolated individuals. Preparedness, access to clean water, medical supplies, and reliable shelter could matter more than national borders. In the end, no place on Earth would be untouched by a large-scale nuclear conflict. The concept of safest country is about degrees of risk, not guarantees of survival. The real takeaway isn't just about geography, it's about resilience, food systems, infrastructure, community strength, and preparedness. Because in a global crisis, survival isn't only about where you are, it's about how ready you are.